Hello everyone and welcome back to Book Time with Elvis with me, Mark. I hope you're all doing well and surviving the extremely hot weather that most of us seem to be having at the moment. Welcome to another installment of my week on Booktube. We're going from last Sunday, which was the 17th, all the way through to yesterday, which is the 23rd of July. And I'm going to show you some of my highlights of Booktube over the past week. Of course, there are many more videos I watched and I enjoyed them all. I've just put down some channels that perhaps I haven't mentioned before that I think you should check out, and also just these are the ones that I thought I would highlight this week. So, I'm trying to be fair and go through. I mean, there's obviously a limited number I can do as well, because I always have to go back and look again at what I watched. So, yeah, let's go. We'll start off today with Christy Lewis. Christy Lewis's channel, Christy Lewis Dostoevsky in Space. She did a nice video called Why I Love Classic Books. It's a short video. She's very enthusiastic, and it was a very enjoyable video to see why Christy likes classic books. So there we go. I enjoyed it. Next up we have Jeremy Fee. Jeremy has a really interesting, I'd say unique channel, because he never actually shows himself. He does everything with kind of animations and graphics and this kind of stuff, and it's really cool. And this week he took on a mammoth task of doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tags in one video. It's a great watch. It's not super long considering he did 5 tags, but he goes through everything. It's interesting. So definitely go and check out Jeremy's channel and watch him take on the challenge of 5 tags in one video. Next up we have Sandy from Miss Reads a Lot. She had a rather interesting video this week where she talks about what exactly is a silent reading party. In this video, Sandy meets up with Gina Stania from Gina Stania Books, and they go to the Sorrento Hotel in Seattle, maybe, I think, if I remember rightly. I might be wrong, correct me on that if I am. And it's a beautiful hotel. Sandy's making a video outside saying it's 90 degrees outside, it's very hot and all this kind of thing. And when they go in, they're sitting in the bar, and the idea is to sit there and read, have a few drinks and get in some reading. So they're not necessarily talking to each other, of course. They're reading their books. I'm sure they talked some point here and there and took a couple of breaks, but what I found rather interesting and actually shocking, and it's nothing of course to do with Sandy, it's more of a criticism I've got for the Sorrento Hotel, wherever you may be, even though you're probably not watching this of course, is that it was 90 degrees outside. It was really hot, and yet Sandy then confirmed, I think, that they had the air conditioning on, which is fine. But then in the bar, they had a roaring fire in the fireplace. And to me, that just kind of defeats the purpose and doesn't come across as too environmentally friendly. So, there we go. But it's a good video. Sandy and Gina, of course, are lots of fun, so you should go and check that out. Talking of environmentally friendly, I want to mention Faith and Books. She's been running a small series at the moment on the 5 R's of zero to low waste living. And she did her 5th R this week, which was recycling. Please don't ask me to remember all the R's. I can't. I suppose I could have written them down, but where would be the impetus for you to go and watch Faith's wonderful video? It's very interesting, her take on it, and her take on recycling. And, it's something we should all be mindful of course, these days, is this idea of, I think zero waste is quite difficult, but certainly low waste living is very important. There's no particular order to these, so I might just jump around in just the order I wrote them down. The next one is Courtney Ferreter, and she did a Friday Reads. And the reason I mention Courtney is because it's been a long time since we've seen her, and she finally posted a Friday Reads talking about, of course, all the books she read. And Courtney's good fun, very interesting, and I really recommend that you go and watch her video, because who knows when the next one may be. Okay, next up we have Book Blather, isn't it? Probably my English accent spoils it, I think. Where we have Dave and his wonderful dog Olive, and Dave takes us through all of the books that he hauled from a used bookstore, one called the Cellar in Woodbury, Connecticut. And it was his second visit, and I just like the way that they sit there together, and especially how Olive sits on the armchair next to him, and the way she looks at him, and all this kind of stuff. I kind of wish Elvis would do this with me. It'd be lovely to have him in all the videos, but Elvis is, as you probably worked, he's quite independent-minded. Don't get me wrong; he's extremely affectionate when he wants to be. He does like spending time away from me when he knows that I'm not engaged in anything in particular. So as soon as I start having a conversation with somebody online, he'll come running in and be like, hey, why aren't you playing with me? Even though he was fine sleeping. Every time I try to drop in on my parents using a certain Amazon device, which I won't name because it will go off, he comes running in immediately. The moment I say, drop in on dad, boom, he comes running in. It's like, he's a strange boy like that. But no, Olive's adorable, and why not check out Book Blather to find the see what books they hauled. Next up, we have Richardson Reads. That's Mark Richardson, and he doesn't make a huge amount of videos these days, but he did do a tag which my what's a good partner in crime, Sean D. Stanfast, created, which was the Awfully Big Adventure book tag, and Mark's had a very interesting life, full of adventure, so I would suggest you go and check that out as well. Next, we have Anne from Anne with a Book, and her channel. Her channel is Anne with a Book, and she does a film review of the new Netflix film Persuasion. The title of which is They Did Anne Dirty, Persuasion 2022 movie review. You can gather from that probably she wasn't too enthused by it, but it's good fun to watch. I have neither read Persuasion nor seen the film, although I was suspicious about watching the film for several reasons. One is I have similar criticisms to Anne, so you can go over and watch it, but I do find it very strange these days what they do with these kind of films, but hey ho. Check out Anne's channel. Next we have Sterling Reads, formerly Cozy Reading with Quaker Cat, so that of course is Summer, and she's been on a roll. I think she made 2 videos this week, and one of them was the Booktube Numbers Tag that was originally created by Jim's Books, Reading and Stuff, and it's all about crunching the numbers on Booktube, which it's a lot of fun, and it's really nice to see Summer and her new haircut. So if you haven't seen it yet, go and check her out. All the links, of course, will be down below as usual. I haven't put it on my list, but it's kind of related, I suppose. And speaking of numbers, is Shelley Swearingen did a video as well, where she crunches in real depth all the numbers regarding the books she's read up to now, from the beginning of this year. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, go and check it out. I've got 2 offerings this week from Sean D. Stanfast. One is he put out a video of a classic science fiction anthology starter kit and more. I'm not a huge fan of science fiction, but I'm becoming more interested in it, especially when I watch Sean's videos, because he's so enthusiastic about it. He also put out a nice video talking about how to collect. If you want to collect things, where to get started. Don't always try to start to get all the most expensive things, but gradually build up your collection, and that's very interesting. Now our penultimate channel is Brian's channel at Bookish, and it was one he released yesterday, which was Saturday Hodgepodge, number 146, weekly reading, perfect novels at perfect comment. And this was good fun because he talks about P.D. James's Death Comes to Pemberley, and he asked the question, who would you most like to see as the Jane Austen character who acts as a novice detective in this story? And for me, I thought it would be rather amusing to put Mr. Collins as a novice detective And the more I thought about it, I thought, yeah, that's a really good choice. I wonder what you think. But anyway, Brian then goes on to talk about the idea of the perfect novel, and people in the comments, of course, put their concept of the perfect novel in there. Personally, I think that's a very tough one, but you may have an idea of what the perfect novel is, so head on over to Brian's channel and leave your own comment to that. Of course, you can leave it here as well, but Brian won't see it probably. And last of the links and things that I'm going to provide is from very literary Carrie, my good friend Carrie, and she runs this Black Hearts book club, and she just did a live discussion yesterday regarding the Red House Mystery by A.A. Milne, which was the July pick for the book club, which I'm a member of, and it was great fun. And Carrie is joined by Anne from Anne with a Book, because she was the co-host, and they discuss this book. And I think, yes, there are spoilers, so if you haven't read it and want to, then maybe you don't want to watch it, but if you're just kind of curious to learn a bit about something else that A.A. Milne wrote that isn't bear related, then you could head over and check out Carrie's channel there. And then I guess some honourable mentions, I'm not putting them here because they've been flying around all over the place, and it was a video Michael K. Vaughan did last Sunday, which was Penguin Classics that don't exist but should. A few people have done their responses to that. I like to think I was the first one to respond to him, probably with the benefit of geographical time zone, I suppose. But Steve Donahue responded to him, as well as Sean D. Stanfast, among others, and that was good fun. Michael often comes up with interesting videos, and if you're watching this, you're probably subscribed to him anyway. I mean, he's got 8,000 odd followers now. I mean, it's kind of funny, we started almost exactly the same time, but people like what they like, and that's that. And certainly Michael deserves it. He's very engaging and enthusiastic and full of character, so I wish him good luck as well on his reaching 8,000 subscribers, which is something else he also did this week. And also Steve Donahue put up a video about how to start a Booktube channel, his top 10 tips for starting a channel, what the do's and don'ts of doing that, which prompted some interesting responses, either in private discussions or in the public forum of Booktube. And Brian, again, at Bookish, made a response video to that. I haven't listed it below, but if you go to Brian's channel to check out the other video, you'll see that one, of course. And that's pretty much it from my week on Booktube. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you do find something new and interesting for you in the list that's down below. And look forward very much to seeing you next week. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. See you then. Take care, everybody. From myself and sleeping Elvis. We'll see you next time. Bye bye, everyone.